Can I describe something to you that might sound a little too familiar? So, you've been thinking about a decision for weeks, maybe months, maybe longer, like years, and you've made pros and cons lists multiple times, and you've talked about it with your partner, your friends, and maybe even your therapist, but you still have not actually made a decision. Not because you don't care about the thing, and it's not because you don't know what you actually want deep down, but because you can't get yourself to the point of feeling certain enough to actually commit. Now, friend, I have been in this exact same loop. After I became a mom, I had a major identity shift. Most women have this. It is called matrescence, where I was trying to figure out who I was in a new season. And I had so many ideas sitting in my heart about work and my personal goals and my own sense of self. And I kept waiting and waiting to be more sure and waiting to maybe learn something or have more information and waiting for fear to go away. But here's what I learned that fear doesn't go away before you make the decision. The clarity comes after. So here's why you're stuck in the loop. Let's talk about why this happens because it's not a willpower problem and it's not even a fear problem. It's a certainty problem. For some reason, we think that if we're still scared, we must not be ready at all. And the hesitation to do something means we shouldn't do it. But here's the truth hesitation often just means that this is something you really care about, that matters to you. The most important decisions you will ever make are going to feel scary, like maybe picking a college or moving out or choosing who you date or marry or deciding to have a child. Those things are scary decisions to make. And it's not because you're making the wrong choice, but it's because you're choosing something that really means something to you. The women who seem decisive and confident, they're not waiting for fear to leave. They've just learned to move while the fear is still there. So here is what I want to offer you today. Instead of asking, am I sure about this? I want you to ask a different set of questions, okay? So, first, what is the decision actually about at the core of it, at the root of it? Is it really about losing some sense of security? Is it about my identity? Is it not wanting to be judged or to maybe disappoint somebody? Get to the emotional level of the decision. And then, second, what would it cost me if I did not decide, if I kept being indecisive? So every day that you stay in this loop, you are choosing to stay in this loop of not deciding. And then the third thing, this one is a big one. What does my true north say? Not the fear, not the comparison, not what looks good on paper, but if I stripped all of that away, what is it that I actually want? So here is what I've seen over and over again. Most women already know what they want. They just need permission to trust that knowing, even without 100% certainty. And this is what my season framework calls evaluate what matters now. It's not about eliminating your options. It's about getting honest about which of those options actually fit in this season of your life and which ones are real, but maybe for a future season. Because when you can name that, the decisions get so much simpler, not easier, but they get simpler. So here's what I want you to do after watching this video. Write down that decision that's been living in your head, the one that you've been talking about the whole time. You know exactly which one that is. Then write down what actually is making you hesitate, not the practical reasons, the real reason, the emotional reason. Is it your fear of failure? Is it fear that someone else might judge you or what they'll think of you? Fear that you'll make the wrong choice and it can't be undone? And then write this. If I trusted myself completely, what would I actually choose? That answer, that's the courageous decision. And you don't need to feel completely ready to make it. You just have to be willing to trust yourself enough to begin. And here's what I want to offer you as a next step. My season clarity guide has a whole section called Evaluate What Matters. It's part of my season framework, and it is designed exactly to do what we just talked about. It walks you through a guided brain dump, a filter question that cuts through the noise, and this process for identifying which goals or decisions actually belong in the season that you're in right now and which ones can wait. It could be the thing that finally gets you out of this loop of indecision and taking the right next step. So if you're interested in the season clarity guide, the link is in the description below. So, what is the real cost of waiting? In my life, this has been many things, but the things that really stand out to me at the moment are losing confidence in myself to actually ever move towards what I want, that my goals will remain goals instead of reality, and not trusting in myself to stay consistent. The cost of waiting is more than just the potential money spent on pursuing something. There's also an emotional cost that comes from continually planning, analyzing, and learning, but never actually executing. I want to give you permission to decide, even if you're afraid, even if you're not 100% certain, even in a busy season. This is what courageous decision making looks like. It's not fearless, but it's faithful. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel, because next week we're going a little bit deeper into something that trips up so many ambitious women because they're in a busy season. We're talking about time, and specifically about why we don't need more time. We're tackling the belief that has kept more ambitious women stuck than probably almost anything. And this idea that you need to find more time before you can actually start moving to follow your dreams. Now, I'm going to show you that it's not true. And I'll show you also what to do instead, because you don't necessarily need more hours. You just need to really understand your capacity and your pockets of time in your life. And I'm going to show you exactly how to build a plan that actually fits inside of your real life. Don't miss it.